Southern California, and they're coming off a double overtime win at San Diego State.
One of the biggest wins in program history. Thomas Dowd, who we'll talk about a lot tonight, 25 and 19 rebounds in that win at San Diego State the other night. So let's see who matches up with him here first.
Those double overtime games were going around on Tuesday with Washington against Southern also going to double overtime.
Well, here's what's changed, AJ, with USC this year.
Yeah.
They got more athletic. They got some tougher guys. And Eric Musselman's talked about, I want tough guys that can move their feet. Well, guess what? They got a bunch of tough guys that can move their feet. Kofi, for his size, really moves well. What does that do? That gives you the ability to switch everything and really get up and into people on the perimeter.
Rodney Rice, ball in his hands. Going to work on the first Trojans possession.
And that's going to be the thing for Rice. You know, when the decision-making of when to try and get his own and when to get others involved, there's always a balance for not just him, any point guard that's running a team. And I think that will evolve as this preseason non-con goes along, getting more accustomed to that role.
Whistle there well before the shot, waiting for what this call will actually be. Looks like a foul on the floor as Eric Musselman just turned 61 yesterday. Happy birthday, Coach.
If you're a USC fan, good news. In his second year at Nevada, they went to the tournament. In his second year at Arkansas, they went to the tournament. And from what I've seen watching them on tape, I was at practice a month ago, this kind of seems like, and I know a lot of people weren't talking about them before the season started, this looks to me like an NCAA tournament team. It really does. This Dickerson and Asar, that's something to keep an eye on tonight. They're like middle linebackers, AJ, going sideline to sideline. They cover so much ground. They're so physical and so athletic. And that's why I say this, if USC continues to buy in on the defensive end, they really do have a chance to be elite. And we haven't even talked about a guy coming off the bench, 7'5", Gabe Dines, who led the country in block shots last year. So when they insert him, now you could push out even more on the perimeter because you know you got him waiting back there at the front of the rim.
Brought in the two best defenders in the Horizon League last year with Dickerson, who comes into the starting lineup. A bit of a choppy start right now, a kick ball on the entry there. Because Dines, as good as he was as a shot blocker, didn't even win Defensive Player of the Year last year in the Horizon League. It was Dickerson.
Well, it's going to be interesting with Dines, and he'll be in shortly, I'm sure, but he'll be a matchup guy. Like on a night like tonight where Troy isn't real big, do you really need him to play major minutes? But once you get into Big Ten play, Dines is going to be counted on, for sure.
That three-point try from Kobe Campbell was short, and a long bomb up the court for Asar. Couldn't get the left-handed layup attempt.
Put it up there short. Good contest by the Troy defense. Team's well coached, and it'll be interesting to see as Campbell knocks down the three, the emotional, where they're at emotionally, Troy, from that game Tuesday night. Double overtime, one of the biggest wins in program history. Can you get back up for this one here tonight?
Could be a bit of a task to get back up after how emotionally charged that win was. Over the top for the alley-oop to Asar.
All right, so if you're going to miss the layup, let's just put it up there so you can dunk it instead. Not going to miss those.
I'll take it. Victor Valdez, he cleared out, and Dickerson, again, he comes over from Robert Morris, where last year he was the Defensive Player of the Year in the Horizon League.
I'm telling you, they cover so much ground, these guys. They don't have, you know, with Kofi starting, they're not real big, but they're athletic, and they're strong, and they play physical. Just makes the offense uncomfortable. Noticeable here in the first 2+ minutes.
A better look this season early, Don, on what the recipe normally is for an Eric Musselman coach team compared to last year.
They weren't as tough last year as they are this year. I could tell that in practice. You can tell it in the first 3 games.
We're going to keep that ball in. That was a sloppy possession the whole way, and Eric Musselman was not happy.
The one interesting area that, and again, I've been selling them the first 2 minutes of this game about how good they are defensively and how good they really can be. defensive backboard hasn't been great so far. That's the one area where they need to focus on. If you're going to be that good and get people to miss, got to finish those defensive possessions with rebound.
Well, the glass is not a strength for Troy, so USC should be able to turn that around today.
Well, the one thing you can talk about, though, in that regard is if your defense is that good and the team's shooting that low of a percentage, there's going to be a lot of defensive rebounds. You can't get all of them. So, yeah, there's maybe a little give up there, and especially if it's a team that shoots a lot of threes, a lot of long rebounds that give the advantage back to the offense on the offensive board.
Lead feed Dickerson, he's having some trouble. This has been a wild start for the first couple minutes.
A little sloppy offensively for USC.
There's 3 minutes in. Thomas Dowd coming off that huge 25-19 game at San Diego State is blocked but fouled, according to the official there, by Dickerson, and he has picked up his second.
Cross has done a lot of good things at Troy. You mentioned in our open about them getting the NCAA tournament last year, won the Sun Belt tournament. You can tell, like, they're a little bit undersized. This is a jump up in level for them. Obviously, the Sun Belt, a mid-major conference, but they move the ball well. They're sharp offensively. It's going to come down to, can they make shots, and can USC get out and get them to miss shots, especially from the three-point line.
Dowd is the only returning starter. They made that tournament. All their guys transferred. All their other starters transferred. But their starting lineup is full of returning players who were just on the bench last year. So they all got that promotion this season.
Welcome to life of a mid-major if you have success in the transfer portal NIL era.
Chad Baker-Mazara loses the ball. USC with 3 turnovers. Same thing with Troy. So far, defense is winning the Trojan War.
See, look at Kofi matched up on Campbell, keeping them in front. That's why you can switch everything. Makes it difficult to play against.
Now let's call on USC number 6. Check out Kofi.
First personal on Kofi. Issues getting it inbounds, and the timeout was called for before a 5-second violation. So we're going to step aside with Troy there. It's in the window where this becomes the 16-minute timeout, and it's Troy with a 4-2 lead here at USC. Right now, the first 250 fans will get $20 off a Big Ten Plus annual pass. Stream nearly 200 USC games plus 2,500 more events across the Big Ten this season. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to BigTenPlus.com and make sure you enter MBB20 when selecting an annual pass at checkout to take advantage of this offer. AJ Cannell alongside Don McClain in the Galen Center. USC makes its debut on Big Ten Network this season, taking on the Troy Trojans, 2 teams with the same nickname.
Let's see if these teams settle in. So they call a timeout to avoid the 5-second call, then they get a 5-second call.
Ouch.
Good job by the USC defense, but I was getting ready to say, see if both teams, now that they've had a break, kind of settled in offensively, been sloppy, a little sped up here in the first 4 minutes.
This is a 1-1-3 matchup zone. Primary defense for Troy. Rodney Rice, catch and shoot.
Can you rebound out of it, though, against a bigger, more athletic USC team?
There's a foul called as Terrence Williams, the second, is in the game and is going to the free throw line. You're saying, I mean, it's the zone, right? Always harder to rebound out of.
Especially when you're spaced out. If USC has good spacing and that zone's got to push out to the three-point line, that leaves that middle wide open. You saw Terrence Williams just went in there and got the offensive board.
Tell me about the difference between a 1-1-3 zone and a 2-3 zone.
Well, it's all based on principles. It really doesn't matter how it's set up initially. It's what are your principles? Like the old Syracuse zone was a 2-3, but it had a different configuration. So the numbers really don't matter, whatever you call it. It's where you're matching up to.
I mean, that old Syracuse zone would oftentimes look like a 4-1 sometimes. Williams, broken wrists, missed most of last season trying to get in form this season after transferring originally from Michigan.
Seeing USC pick up full, not really to turn him over, but to make him use some of that shot clock, get him sped up in the half court.
Cooper Campbell. It's an all Campbell backcourt. Two brothers in there for Troy, and it's a turnover here.
You're going to figure out, and that's part of Troy's game, is to spread you out, move the ball, open up driving lanes and get in the paint. But again, when you're stepping up levels of competition, you drive in there a little different when you drive in there in the Sun Belt Conference.
Or even probably from San Diego State up to the way that USC is playing so far this year, as that is floated in by Cooper Campbell.
Dines in the game early. You would expect, are they going to try and drag him out on the perimeter? Can USC leave him in the paint? Be interesting to keep an eye on that.
You said earlier he's a little bit matchup dependent, as the three rocking away for Rice didn't go in. Even Dines said that after the last game. He played his season high in minutes by far. He was quoted as saying, "I know I'm matchup dependent," as Kobe Campbell tries to break him down, misses the shot.
Kofi with the rebound, and that's what they're going to do, is get Dines out on the perimeter, drive past. Campbell just couldn't finish that last one.
This is close to a 5-second violation. Kofi just apparently unloaded that in time. Wide crossover from Rodney Rice. Back to the Virginia transfer. Kofi deflected pass out into Rice's arms at the end of the shot clock. Gets a piece of the rim at least, but a rebound by Thomas Dow.
I'm impressed with this Troy defense early, giving up some size, but they're really competing on that end.
And there is who they call Mexicana Luca. Victor Valdez from Monterrey, Mexico, got a lot of size and creative ability.
I guess no emotional letdown from the win Tuesday night. They're ready to play.
That was a high-powered attempt by Baker Mazzara, and it's a free throw line trip for him.
Baker Mazzara, you see Valdez just making something on his own, puts it up off the window, but Baker Mazzara has played a lot of basketball in college, and I think off to a good start, just under 19 points a game, 44% from behind the three-point line. I think he's going to benefit from Rodney Rice being, as we go along, even more comfortable managing this offense, running this offense. But Baker Mazzara has been part of a lot of winning at the college level.
Fresh off a Final Four appearance with Auburn. How's he going to benefit from Rice?
Because he's going to be one of the focal guys, and you know, every team, when you have new players playing with each other, get used to playing with each other. And I think Mazzara's got a bigger role than he had at Auburn offensively, so I think those two will continue to grow as the season goes on.
They both have slightly different roles, and Rice's role is more than slightly different. He goes into an on-ball role after he was off the ball with Maryland.
See if Troy can get it in this time.
Had to save that. Theo Sang stayed off the sideline. Now he gets it back in the corner. Guarded closely by Asar, who thought he knocked it out off of Sang, but they keep it here.
Kofi doing a nice job on Dowd here early, limiting his opportunities. Tough place to inbound here.
Showed why, but they'll have an easier place to inbound, at least from the Troy perspective.
That deep corner, actually USC did Troy a favor there by knocking that out. Now they're not in that deep corner trying to inbound it anymore.
USC still made it difficult, but racing back behind the half-court line, Campbell, Cooper Campbell, got to always specify because there's two of them, misses that jumper short.
Jordan Marsh in the game. been a big surprise for USC. They didn't know what they were going to get, but he's been a welcome surprise so far for this USC team.
Missed layup attempt by Asar in deep.
I'm telling you, Asar's just got to dunk it. Forget the layups.
Theo Sang, strong take. There's a foul called on Ezra Asar, Utah transfer. Had the coaching change. Craig Smith got fired, and Asar comes over to USC.
One thing for USC, and again, it's going to be a theme for them all season, and how good they can be defensively, but can you guard without fouling? And that's become something I've done, I don't know, 5 or 6 games so far, and I feel like I keep coming back to that. The teams are up and into it, they're intense, they're physical, but it doesn't do you any good if you're putting the other team on the foul line all the time. So I think that's going to be a key for USC. Maybe not now in the non-con as much, but once you get into Big Ten play, can you get stops without putting people on that free throw line?
Because that gets more difficult the higher quality the opponent, typically. It's Troy by a bucket. Trojans off to a nice starter after that double overtime win over San Diego State on Tuesday. The Troy Trojans, should say, as that Marsh attempt wouldn't go. USC's getting some interior looks. They're just not bouncing in, and that stays with USC.
Off the drive, though, I'd like to see him move it and get some movement within that zone on the pass, and then collapse the defense and either spray it back out or interior passing down low.
We're going to see a challenge, I believe, here, but a timeout is called. In the new coach's challenge rule this year, Troy is challenging that ball did not go out of bounds off of them, that instead it went off of USC. The officials used the timeout to look at this play, and they're still looking at it. They're going to call the court was out off of Troy.
It's an interesting challenge this early in the game with it's a 2-point game. But it's supposed to be definitive to overturn it, and if the officials are still looking at it, that means it's probably not definitive.
I'm with you.
Right? So you don't change the call.
Let me see those victory signs up. Let me see them.
If you lose this challenge, you don't have the right to challenge again and lose a timeout, which Troy has already used a timeout in the first half. To me, that makes it the riskiest part of using the challenge.
I said it's an interesting challenge this early in the game. You know, if this game gets close late, and now you don't have a challenge, and you're probably light on timeouts.
After review, the ball was touched last by USC. It will be Troy ball underneath, and they will retain their timeout.
Okay, well, the gamble worked. They found whatever look they needed to see that it was off of USC.
Well, and the other thing is, you know, if you're Scott Cross coming in here, you have nothing to lose.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to win this game. Coming off a monster win at San Diego State, so let it fly. But it worked in his favor this time.
So at most, now one more challenge remaining for Troy. Some more pressure there from USC.
I think USC's intensity, effort, energy level has been good on the defensive end. Just kind of out of sync offensively here in the first 8 minutes.
This is Carrington Keel. Tries to shovel it for the cutting down. It's a turnover.
Good pass.
But Williams couldn't handle it.
Sometimes on the run, it's hard to get that bounce pass to catch your eye because you know you're getting near the paint, near the rim. You assume you're going to catch it, take your eyes off it. I think that's what happened to Terrence Williams. Whereas if it's in the air, you're more likely your eye level stays the same. It doesn't go down to the ground to the bounce pass.
This is just such an intense defensive game so far. 10 combined turnovers for the two teams. That one is short for Javen Colbert, going back to USC.
I think these are two good defensive teams, number one. Number two, it's still early in the season. Like I was talking about with USC, guys in different roles from where they came from to here. You know, you're going to see this growing pains a little bit offensively, especially for USC. But the good news is their talent level is so high. There's some margin for error there.
This is Marsh, and Rice is open for three.
Did you see what they did on that possession? They put Baker Mazzara at the foul line for the first time, and that brought the Troy defense in a little more, opened up the perimeter for Rice and the three-pointer.
USC takes a 10-9 lead. Midway through the first half, Valdez back cut down. Tip in for Sang.
It's that defensive board I was talking about for USC, an area they really need to focus on, because the rest of this defense looks pretty good so far.
From the elbow, Rodney Rice takes the lead back for USC.
Playing with so much confidence and was on a very good Maryland team last year that went to the Sweet 16, but we've said it a couple times, being asked to do something different, but there's no doubt he can shoot and he can score.
Valdez puts his head down, bumped off his spot. Good defense by Terrence Williams. Offensive rebound for Colbert. Valdez up fake, drew the contact, and it's on Kofi. On Saturday, a football triple header begins with Minnesota taking on Northwestern at Wrigley. Then Michigan looks to keep its playoff hopes alive. Still a two-loss team taking on Maryland, Illinois against Wisconsin under the lights at Camp Randall. It all starts with countdown to kickoff Saturday on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app.
Valdez is an interesting player, you know, not real athletic, but a bigger body. You put the ball in his hands and allow him to create, getting into the paint. He's already drawn 2 or 3 fouls on this USC defense.
And you look at how important he is to Troy, Don. Again, coming off a game against San Diego State where they sustained a beyond half-court buzzer beater in regulation and then won in double overtime. Valdez fouled out after scoring 20 points with 1:44 in regulation, and they still won the game. An impressive win against the San Diego State team that was receiving the most votes of any not ranked team
there's
in the AP poll.
There's ranked teams that don't fare well in Viejas down there in San Diego. So for a mid-major like Troy, it's a big win, big-time win.
And that one's poured in by Chad Baker Mazzara.
They're starting to get into a little bit of a rhythm here offensively, starting to make some shots, USC.
Is that a backcourt violation? Not quite. Step back three, Valdez. Another offensive rebound.
3 possessions in a row.
Sang, hard drive. This time the defensive board for Baker Mazzara. Here he comes. And it's poked away by Valdez. It rolls right to Rodney Rice. And it'll stay with USC.
Troy team plays hard.
It's noticeable.
And I think USC needs to realize that this team, there is no letdown from Tuesday from Troy, that they're going to keep coming for 40 minutes.
Scott Cross said, we're not as athletic as last year's NCAA tournament team, but we make up for it with that effort and with some skill.
This team plays hard.
Defender slips, and Rodney Rice benefited, but then missed the corner three. And they put the ball in Valdez's hands a lot at 6'7".
And not really much action either. Just he's kind of creating on his own.
Austin Cross, the miss, another offensive board, and another. And it sets up Valdez for 3. The latest offensive rebound from Corbin Green. And Troy is showing what they can do physically.
This USC team is going to have to clean this up before they get to Big Ten play, because again, they have the personnel to be so good defensively, and they are guarding the ball, guarding the perimeter. But if you don't finish possessions with defensive rebounds, it's going to be a problem, especially with the size and the physicality once you get into Big Ten conference play.
Green is like a football player in there. He's got that mask on. He transferred from Texas Tech, where he was a walk-on. 6'4", 230. Got that offensive rebound and the assist. Asar. There was a whistle and a foul on his way in.
USC now starting to look to that foul line area, and I think they're going to have success with that. That time Asar didn't really look to draw and kick out. Just put his head down, tried to get to the rim, got the foul.
Keel chasing Baker Mazzara, making him work for this possession. Forced into a difficult three. Offensive rebound for Easter. Williams straight down Broadway. Doesn't get that one to go. And there's a foul called in the backcourt on Chad Baker Mazzara.
Not a smart foul by Baker Mazzara.
Timeout on the floor. Troy 16, USC 15. And Baker Mazzara in this closely contested first half knocks down a three. Troy Trojans lead the USC Trojans by a point. Middle stages of the first half. Don, you referenced it earlier, hoping for a year two jump under Coach Muss.
Yeah, he did it at Nevada, did it at Arkansas, and I don't see any reason why he can't do it again here at USC. Hasn't been their best grip of minutes here early in the season, but it's to be expected. You know, with this many new players in different roles from where they came from, I think you're going to have some stretches like this. The trick is, can you win games while you're continuing to figure it out?
I'm sure he personally and his staff are starving for a good year. Remember, the last year they were at Arkansas didn't go very well. And then the first year at USC. Had many great years, though, before that at both Arkansas and Nevada. Travel in violation on Valdez.
That's what Asar can do. He's a multi-positional defender because he's big and strong enough to guard fours and even fives, but he's fast enough, quick enough to get out and guard the perimeter. He is going to be a real weapon for this USC team on the defensive end this year.
I know what you just described. Like, there aren't a lot of guys that can do that, that have that ability.
What USC talked about at that timeout in terms of attacking this zone.
Baker Mazzara, reach-in foul. And after he floated that one up, it'll be two more free throws for him. He's already 2 for 2.
The one thing that jumps off the page offensively for USC, and again, small sample size, only 3 games, but they came into this one averaging 36 free throw attempts a game. That's shocking. NBA teams don't shoot 36 free throws in games. They're averaging that through the first 3. So I'm sure moving forward, and I'm curious if Scott Cross talked about this, guys, we can't put them on the line 36 times. We're not going to win the game.
When you look at the film, what made them average 36 free throws a game?
Well, they're athletic, and they're physical, and they attack the rim.
USC back in front. Keel in the corner. Gets it to Dowd off the curl. Deflected. Another good hustle play by Cooper Campbell and Troy, but this time it's out of bounds to USC.
Better job competing on the defensive board that time. Rice went up with 2 hands, got it poked out, but they get the possession.
Jerry Easter the second.
Good looking freshman, looks apart, doesn't he? Big, strong guard for a freshman.
Coming in from Toledo. Now it's Ezra Asar spinning in the lane, lost the handle on that shot.
He's had 3 point blanks tonight, just haven't gone down for him. He's gotten fouled a lot. You just wonder if he's going in there assuming he's going to get the whistle and get to the foul line instead of finishing the play.
And that one spun up and in by Thomas Dowd. In this first half, there have been 10 lead changes already. Almost like Easter, pardon me, wasn't expecting that. He was cutting through the zone. Now going downhill. Good fake by Rice. Hits an and one for Rodney Rice.
Once you get it side to side, that's when driving lanes open up. When you come down and just try and drive it, all the eyes are on you, but when you get the defense shifting, you can explode through like Rice did that time. He gets the and one. Good ball fake, gets the defender in the air, gets himself a chance for three.
And he picks up the second foul on Troy's starting center, Theo Sang, in the process. USC's got Dickerson and Kofi both with 2. Cooper Campbell, the look off. Forced to give it back outside. Now his brother Kobe Campbell. Their dad is an assistant coach on the team. And Kobe Campbell is rejected.
Defense by Easter that time. I think if you told Eric Musselman before the game the other team would only have 18 points with 5.5, he'd probably be happy. The problem is they only have 20.
Yeah, but is that shot missed by Rice, who has double figures, the only double-figure score for either team so far. And it was a very good pass by Keel, and the finish for Gerald Bellamy.
Team is well coached.
And now a timeout for USC inbounding.
Well, you teach guards if you're going to drive the paint to get to 2 feet. Why? So you're under control. You can either finish yourself or find somebody underneath. Good interior pass that time, easy deuce.
This has been a matchup befitting the Trojans versus Trojans so far. This has been a fight.
Yeah, and I wasn't sure what to expect. I knew the success that Troy had last year and they've had under Scott Cross, but you never know when you're making the jump from mid-major level talent to high major. And we do a lot of these games in November and December where sometimes they're blowouts, sometimes they're not. But the biggest thing for me, and I know we've said it a couple times, was where was Troy emotionally after that huge win on Tuesday night? And give Scott Cross and his staff credit that he centered them back, and they're here to play here tonight.
I mean, it's both an emotional thing and just physical when you're on a 4-game road trip in 7 days in California and just came off a double overtime game 2 days ago.
No doubt.
So give the Troy Trojans credit. USC, as you pointed out, playing hard as well. Just been a tough game so far. A couple of good passes culminate in a Williams 3. That's a miss, and Bellamy flew in for the rebound.
As good as USC played the first 3, I think Eric Musselman is still, with this many new players, as a lot of coaches are in the country with the transfer portal, experimenting with combinations.
USC wanted the travel call, still turned over at the end of the day nearly, but picked up by Valdez. Cooper Campbell for 3. And finally the defensive rebound for USC and Marsh.
There's certain combinations that work together, some combinations that don't. A lot of coaches this time of year are really experimenting with this. But again, like I said earlier, with your offense evolving, you got to win games while you're figuring this stuff out. Because we're nearing, and I said it the other night during the UCLA game, we're nearing time for net rankings already.
When do those first come out?
December.
Okay. Got the 7'5" Gabe Dines after that transition lob attempt, missing the first free throw.
I mean, he's 7'5", and he moves pretty well. Guy we saw last year, the last couple years at UCLA, Adai Mara, now at Michigan, same thing, moves well for somebody that big.
Big Ten's got some size with Jacobson on that list as well. Olivier Rioux set a record for the tallest player ever to appear. in a college game this year with Florida. So it's still knotted up at 20. Dines is sub 50% from the line in his career, but he's a great defensive player. And here comes USC again. Rice levitating, and there's a whistle.
They're going to give him the 2 shots. He looked like he was going to pass it.
Waiting to see. I think they're going to, but we'll find out after the break. Timeout. USC and Troy are even at 20 late in the first half. This has been a good one, and it might not be a Trojan war, but it's like a Trojan Civil War. And let's take a look at what our crew back in Chicago was able to dream up. The real Trojan War. No horses, just hoops. Okay? There can only be one. Troy versus Troy. At the men of Troy versus actual Troy. Helen of Troy University versus Helen of Troy, California. In 1184 BC, one city fell. Tonight, only one Trojan leaves victorious. Don, you know the third Trojans in Division I?
I do not.
Can you think of it?
No.
Little Rock.
Are they in their league? Are they in the Sun Belt?
It might be. That was as far as my Little Rock knowledge went. The fact that they're also the Trojans. Rodney Rice. This is the first free throw, makes the second. He's up to 11 points. USC one of its last 8 from the field.
See if either team can get some momentum here this last segment of the first half. The defense has been good, but the offense has been a little bit sloppy, but you can attribute that, I think, to the intensity on defense both ways.
And it's Cooper Campbell retaking the lead for Troy. He's at 16 points a game. Baker Mazzara, a runway for the answer.
A multi-talented guy can bring it in transition. That's what you like. And Eric Musselman has always had these bigger guards, bigger wings that can do a lot of that. Rebound and then bring it in transition.
All of a sudden, this game perking up offensively. Victor Valdez for 2.
I've been told Little Rock is not in the Sun Belt.
Only one Trojans per conference allowed.
They're in the Ohio Valley Conference.
It's Marsh, the swing to Baker Mazzara. Pulls up for the bucket and the foul.
I thought Baker Mazzara was going to throw it into Dines, and I feel like I don't need to say Dines had the mismatch, because Dines has a mismatch against anybody he plays. A good individual offense by Baker Mazzara there. Pull-up game, gets a foul.
It's the second on Carrington Keel. 4 different players for Troy have 2 personals, and Baker Mazzara now has USC's highest point total with 12.
And USC in the double bonus now, so 2 free throws the rest of this half.
Mentioned their ability to get to the foul line. Chad Baker Mazzara on his own is 5 for 5.
Heard Will Conroy, the USC assistants, yelling no fouls.
See if they can execute on that.
Because they're saying that, look, every coach should say no fouls because you don't want to foul, but I think this team is so good defensively that the only way it's not as good as if they're fouling and not cleaning up their defensive board.
Deep 3 from Valdez with a miss there. That might have been a little bit of a settle. Coach Muss still barking out orders. They're doing a pizza party for first come, first serve. Whoever wants to indulge in pizza or cupcakes for Muss's 61st birthday. They're treating the fans after this game as a catch and shoot 3 for Jordan Marsh.
And again, why? Ball got to the middle of the floor, look opposite, Marsh wide open in the opposite corner, knocks that one down.
The UNC Asheville transfer makes it the largest lead of the game for USC. Valdez squeezes that in off the offensive rebound.
He's a good player, man. Just one of those guys that knows how to play. He's probably played a ton of basketball.
Rice accelerates the other way, misses. Green was in there battling Asar. And where's the foul going? I think it's against USC.
See that middle of the floor look opposite? Has to be open. Either that or Brownell's going to just score himself.
Second personal on Asar there, so Williams comes back in for him. And it is the Texas Tech transfer, Corbin Green. He was a freshman at Air Force. He led them in block shots, then was a walk-on at Texas Tech. He and Bellamy actually both hit their faces in the season opener, so that's why they have two players got actually hurt in the same game. They have two masked men. He is a bad dude with that mask on, intimidating guy.
Feels like all these masks are universal now. You see how be all kinds of different looking masks. They all look like the one he has on now.
They found a comfortable fit. As just over 1 minute to go in the first half. You see the ball, a 2-point lead. Baker Mazzara, step back three. That's off the front rim. Green the rebound.
Tough shot, but it was late clock. Had to go.
Troy beats the pressure a little bit, and Green, going downhill hard. And it's an offensive foul.
Second offensive foul. USC defender stepping into this first half. Nice job by Williams sliding over. You above the RA? Yep. Easy call for the official.
Giving Green more minutes than he's accustomed to, and he has just picked up his third personal foul. Coming up on the halftime show presented by State Farm, Dave Revson, Bruce Weber bring you news and highlights from around the Big Ten. We're finishing up a triple header on Big Ten Network. And there was also big win for Purdue, comeback win earlier tonight. Beat Memphis, so lots to talk about there. Middle of the zone. It's Brownell, just checked into the game. He could be a microwave offensively.
Good production here. Only playing just under 10 minutes, but averaging just under 8 points a game. So taking advantage of the opportunities when he gets them.
Got a quick look after checking in, but now Troy can hold for one, a chance to tie or take the lead after the first 20 minutes. Valdez gets right to the hole. It's blocked by Baker Mazzara. Rebound down. Foul is called with 1.2.
Another second chance opportunity for Troy. Right at the end of the half to potentially tie this going into the locker room.
I mean, you look at some of the advanced numbers, Don. Like, I know it's early, the sample size is small, but like Troy as an offensive rebounding team, not particularly good this year. So it makes it surprising.
If you're off to not a great start rebounding your own defensive board, it really doesn't matter who you're playing until you make it a priority to do it. And they just haven't made it enough of a priority here early in the season. But look, when you're winning games by 20, 30 points, it's hard to get the attention when you're winning games like that.
Yep.
It's going to have to come like tonight. If this game stays the way it is, they'll have some film to look at.
Troy out-rebounded USC on the offensive glass 9-3, and it's tied at the break. I guess it's a little bit fitting between this all one functioning shot clock, and it's the direction that USC is going.
I'm sure a lot of people surprised this game tied at halftime. I said it in the first half. USC better be ready for 40 minutes. This Troy team plays hard, and they execute.
And throw away on their first possession of the second half for the USC Trojans. The public address announcer is announcing the intervals of the shot clock when Troy has the ball. Valdez, he didn't realize that the shot clock was off. He pointed at it, he drove, and he missed the layup.
Kofi with that rebound, 2 early fouls in that first half, only played 10 minutes. We'll see if he's more of a factor here in the second half.
I gotta say, Don, I don't like this rule change. I feel like if one is off, both should be off. Rice from the corner, it's in.
That's what I'm saying about the offensive execution. They can get better looks if they're more patient, get it side to side, and then find the open guy. Rice with an easy look from 3 there.
20.
Dowd bullying his way in. Spinning left-handed attempt wouldn't go. Cooper Campbell bounces to Sang, and he spins it up and in.
Nice pass by Campbell to lead him. If he didn't lead him, it would have been a turnover, led him right to the other side of the rim. Sang with the finish.
Dickerson was in foul trouble in the first half. Clanks the 3. Lead feed to Valdez. Nice extra pass, but Keel was rejected.
Dickerson, that's what I was saying right off the top. Asar and Dickerson really cover ground. Got back to send that shot back. Leads to easier offense in transition for USC. Good sequence.
Ezra Asar quickly in the other direction to make it a 3-point USC edge. Valdez spins, slips, and they call the foul on Amarion Dickerson. That's his 3rd.
Take another look at that one. I'm not sure about that. I think he just lost his balance.
Yep. What it seems like, right? Replay seems to confirm that as 3-point shot by Sang is short. Lead feed Asar out on the break once again. He's fouled but just misses.
Well, that's the second time tonight Asar has ran out and gotten ahead of the pack. Got to the foul line that time. It's okay to run out as long as you know one of the other 4 guys has got it secured. Asar is so strong.
Draws the 3rd personal foul on Theo Sang. So a key player from each side now with 3.
Defenders just bounce off of Asar. 17 tonight coming in. Has already been, coming into tonight, had already been to the foul line 31 times in 3 games.
That number was good for 8th in the Big Ten coming in, 31 free throw attempts. And they've only played 3 games, so that shows you how much.
I was just going to say that. I'm sure whoever's ahead of him has played 4 or 5 games so far.
Exactly. And they match their largest lead of the game at 5. It shows you how close this game has been. That's off the foot of Valdez.
Dickerson so active. Gets a hand in there. Valdez is such a focal point for this Troy offense.
He's saying,
taking the challenge here in the second half.
He's saying he got hit. I don't see it there. That was just a good play by Dickerson. Right now stays in the game with the 3 personals. And look off on the 3. Good dish to Asar.
I thought Dickerson was going to take that himself. We saw Asar in that dunker position coming over, dropped it off to him. Big time finish from Asar.
6 straight points for USC, but that ends with Thomas Dowd.
You mentioned the physical toll from Tuesday for Troy. Double overtime 48 hours ago. Just wonder if USC can wear them down here in the second half.
And conditioning is something that's really important for USC. A great look by Dickerson there, because they play so hard. They have to focus on having their players well conditioned for the second half.
If you're physical, that takes more of it out of you than running up and down the court. So if you're physical without fouling, you can wear teams down no matter how good their conditioning is.
Valdez tangled up with Jacob Kofi.
Late clock again here for USC.
Rice, the lob up. Asar has to come down with it. He puts it back in on the second jump.
A little patience that time. Took his time, got over that left shoulder and finished. Missed a couple of those in the first half.
And the shot clock on this side of the court is malfunctioned. And that is a travel for Valdez.
USC has raised the level here, and sometimes, like in the first half, their offense was out of sync, weren't having a lot of success. Now they're starting to score. That energizes your defense even more.
Oh, going up and under the foul called. Dickerson, an athletic take.
See that again. If he couldn't have short side dunked that, tried to go to the other side of the rim. Good delivery by Rice. Yeah, I guess he had to avoid the defender. He had to go to the other side.
And in just 7 minutes, Gerald Bellamy has picked up his 4th personal for Troy. Troy with the 3rd fewest bench minutes in the country. So everything else we've been talking about, they really go with a similar group of guys, and they don't have a ton of substitute options as well. And now they're further shorthanded because of Bellamy's foul trouble.
Another factor how they could get worn down. Long road trip, emotional game Tuesday.
Asar kept that one alive, but eventually into the arms of Dowd. USC through the first 4 minutes of the second half has outscored Troy 12-4. Off the cross miss, big pile up near the foul line, and it's a held ball. Possession arrow favors Troy with a timeout on the floor. Early in the second half, USC jumps out in front after that halftime tie.
My own vision, our staff can have a vision. The players are going to create the identity, and they're going to do that not on game one. We're not a team that has a bunch of returning players and we know who we are. Our roles, our rotations, all those things will be evolving throughout the year. We know what we don't know, and we don't have enough tangible evidence to start the year for what will look like, come January and February.
And that's what I was saying in the first half, that all this stuff, look, they played really well in the first 3 games. But I think rotations in terms of who's playing what combinations, but defensive rotations, offensive roles will continue to emerge here through November and December so that you're ready for January and February.
Shot clock just flickered back on this side of the court as the play was starting. USC, though, on the run again. Asar kicked that one out of bounds. When you have 3 games like that, the way that USC did, in a sense, is part of what you're saying that it's almost tough to evaluate some of what those issues could potentially be?
You watch the film and you see which combinations got you that lead. It wasn't just across the board.
Yeah. Sang has that ability from the 5 spot. He can break you down off the dribble.
No reason for Asar to gamble on the steal, trying to poke it away, and got beat by Sang for a wide open layup. Got out of position.
Lob up, and Asar turns it over. Thomas Dowd steals it for Troy. Got to start to look at the plus minus with the shot clock on versus off. The biggest run of the game for USC was that stretch where the shot clock malfunctioned. Dowd is well short on a challenging shot.
USC doing a better job this half of rebounding their own board.
High floater for Baker Mazara wouldn't go. Here come the Troy Trojans. Pull up 3 for Cooper Campbell.
No communication from USC. You got to communicate. Somebody's got to pick up the ball. No one did. Campbell knocks in the 3. Cut it to a 1-possession game.
Both the brothers, Cooper and Kobe, from Puyallup, Washington. Their dad, Scott, was just hired as an assistant coach this year on the team. And here comes Troy again, down by 3.
Not a great shot by Baker Mazzara that time. Early clock, individual, came up short.
Theo Sang. It's a tie game.
I'm telling you, USC doesn't want to play this dangerous game. We say this all the time in November, December. You let a team hang around, the more they think they can win it. And it's tied again with under 14 to go.
8 straight points for Troy in the last 90 seconds to tie it, but a good take by Assar to retake the lead for USC.
And I mentioned the net rankings early in the first half. What would it do to your first net ranking were you not able to win this one if you're USC?
Sang missed it, Dowd crashed. He is shaken up, and now there are 2 Troy players down, and there's probably a smart foul in that situation by Cooper Campbell.
Wild last couple possessions here. Guys, bodies flying all over the court.
There have been fits and starts where that has happened for a couple minutes, it feels like, on end, including the very beginning of the game. As Jerry Easter, the second, will check back in. They're going to go smaller. They take out Ezra Assar. They're starting 5.
Oh, really small. 3 guards, Dickerson at the 4, Kofi at the 5.
Rice, dribble drive, finds Easter from the short corner, locks it in.
Well, he scored that, but a freshman mistake by Easter. Rice took the middle and looking to kick out. Easter's got to be spaced behind the line. He would have had a wide open 3. You'd rather have 3 than 2 in that situation.
Cooper Campbell is fouled on the way in on the floor.
You like the individual effort for Easter to get the bucket, but that's just general basketball. Guy drives middle, you got to be spaced behind the line. Caught that inside the line.
3-point shooting, with normally a bigger strength for Troy, hasn't really been a factor for either team. Only 4 made for each team so far. Again, Cooper Campbell is open. USC dodges a bullet.
Yeah, they got away with that one. Again, no communication. Campbell comes off clean, wide open look.
Player that averages nearly 16 a game has got 10 in this one. Rice drew the contact there. He's going to the free throw line.
Troy's gone to more man-to-man this half. We saw a lot of the zone in the first half. But again, to me, the principles don't change offensively. Just because they're in man doesn't mean I try and take my guy every time. And that's the decision-making I've talked about with Rodney Rice all night. Yes, he got 2 free throws out of it, but if you take it one time, then there's another guy taking it the next time. Get the ball moving, get it into actions, you'll get easier looks at it.
I mean, it was a good defensive first half, though. Why do you think Troy switching it up, going man?
Give him a different look.
Troy came back, tied the game. Now USC has re-expanded to a 6-point lead. It's a 6-0 run, but a foul in the backcourt on Kofi.
Kofi tried to double the ball. Wasn't set, moving his feet, got the foul.
And it's his 3rd. This has been, at times, a frustrating game for USC.
But if you got 2 fouls, you got to be smarter than that. You know, you're not going to turn them over in that situation. Just get back on defense.
Valdez rejects the screen, bodies up Kofi, who plays really good defense there. And Dickerson falls down with the ball and draws the foul.
Now, after the next foul, USC back in the bonus for the rest of this half. 12 minutes to go in a 2-possession game.
Troy going a little deeper than they normally go. Emmanuel Clarton averages 3 minutes a game. He's in. He was called for the foul there.
This time of year, we're starting a brand new season. Guys, You want to play hard, you want to affect the game, but sometimes playing hard, make mistakes.
Dickerson, just such a physical game this has been. He is able to throw that one in after throwing maybe an elbow on the way in.
He, like Asar, it didn't seem like physicality bothers him at all.
Foul call, going to take us to a timeout. In the second half at USC, Amarion Dickerson, tough take for the Trojans. Coming up, the Big Show delivers highlights, post-game interviews, and complete analysis next on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. Been a different story first half to second half. USC 8-0 run in the last 1 minute, 37 seconds, and in the second half, 7 for 10 from the field.
Some of that is defense leading to easier offense in transition, getting more stops.
A turnover battle starting to gain some traction there as the coach's son, Austin Cross, was hoping for the and one, and now will go to the foul line for 2 instead. So we mentioned the 2 Campbells with Scott Campbell. Their dad as an assistant coach. Scott Cross, the head coach's son, Austin, is a freshman on the team. Played some key minutes off the bench in overtime because others fouled out against San Diego State.
And I think coming into this one, Scott Cross knew because of double overtime 2 nights ago that he was probably going to have to go deeper into his bench in this one. Still a game, obviously, only an 8-point lead for USC.
Not the time for Troy to miss a couple of free throws.
Is there ever a time to miss a couple of free throws?
When you're up by 50. Turn it back over, though, to the Troy Trojans.
Dickerson and Asar earlier just trying to force it too much. There's really nothing there. Has led to turnover.
This is one of those games, every time I look up, there's like another body on the ground. It's just been one of those. Issues inbounding, eventually get it into Javen Colbert.
USC has done a good job tonight of picking up full and making Troy start their offense later in the shot clock.
Valdez leaning in, Sang keeps it alive, can't finish over Dickerson. It's tipped out, Austin Cross, that was blocked. But then after Easter's play, Troy had it again and then lost it. Wow.
You see it, I mentioned a couple times tonight how much ground some of these USC defenders cover. And the tip out here, and the fact that they're able to get all the way out there, Easter, to get a piece of that 3. Good example of it there. Troy back to the zone.
This 8-point lead is tied for the largest of the game for USC. After 15 first half lead changes, Baker Mazzara, double-figure lead for the Trojans of USC.
Good shot by Baker Mazzara there, deep 3, NBA range.
And he has 15 points. The Troy Trojans need something. Sang banks it home.
Got the switch, smaller Easter on him, just went down into the paint, went right over the top.
12 points for Theo Sang. Baker Mazzara, the lob, and going up top for Dickerson.
Good vision by Dickerson to see nobody on the back line, just sneaks in behind it. Good delivery by Baker Mazzara.
Seeing that athleticism pop in the second half as Colbert makes his way into the paint in a hurry and a foul line trip.
Like Baker Mazzara was going to put this one up, and then Dickerson saw it, took the baseline. Big finish.
Blocked by Galen Comer, shooting 2 free throws.
Any idea why we just heard the Simpsons theme song?
No idea.
I feel like everyone stopped for a second. Hearing it again. Maybe an attempt to distract. Troy is just 7 for 13 from the free throw line.
I wonder if the curtain of distraction's still alive and well over at Arizona State. Started about 13 years ago. The ultimate distractor of free throw shooting.
Not a bad effort in that regard behind the shooter there, the shooter's eye for USC's fans, but a 10-point Trojans lead. No call there as Colbert hits the deck. No look pass by Baker Mazzara, and Asar is going to the line.
Both teams just trying to will themselves to the paint and to the rim and drawing fouls. Both teams in the bonus now.
And you know what, it hasn't always been pretty, but I go back to what the USC coaching staff said before this game was, we don't want to get in a three-point shooting contest with them. And what you just described, Don, is the opposite of a three-point shooting contest.
Both teams are trying to do the same thing, just get to the paint, get to the rim. And if they don't score, try and get fouled. In the last few minutes here, it's been working.
Oh, Chad Baker Mazzara's got blood all over him. He's trying to figure out where it was coming from. He just all of a sudden started holding his chest in a very humorous way. He doesn't even feel like he's in pain. He was just joking.
A lot of times it's from another player when it's on the front of the jersey.
What are they trying to figure out now? Telling you, man, there's been a few moments tonight where it's like, is everyone good? Like, what? Just, I think they were trying to figure out if that was the first or second free throw, and that bounced around a million times, and Troy has it.
See if Troy can string together some possessions here. Certainly not out of it, but down 11, just over 9 minutes to go.
Green waiting patiently, and finally Dickerson bit. And it's Corbin Green back to the line. That's the fourth personal on Amarion Dickerson. Kofi also has 4 for USC, so now they're going to put in Baker Mazzara, who now is wearing a different uniform because his previous one had too much blood on it. He's going from 4 to 55.
Good thing we know him. We don't have to identify him by the name on the back of his jersey because there isn't one.
He's pretty identifiable. Still got 9:17 in this game, and back to a single-digit lead for USC. Marsh, head of steam, hits the accelerator, missed the layup. Good rebound for Thomas Dowd.
Good look for Marsh, just couldn't finish it. Trying to get Dowd mismatch with Marsh on him.
They get him the ball. They swarm a little bit, and he's forced to give it up. And now Cooper Campbell ripping right. He's blocked from behind. He chases it down. He lofts it up, and it's good for Cooper Campbell. And a timeout called by Troy.
Unlucky for USC, but fortunate for Troy. Campbell with the big three to cut it to 9.
Second block recently by Easter, but Campbell still able to make it work. Troy called for timeout. They pulled back within 6. USC, after a tied score at halftime, used a pair of 8-point runs to create some separation early in the second half. Troy inching closer, but USC, these are their 3 leading scorers on the season. They're the 3 leading scorers tonight.
And I think that for the most part is going to be true for most games. Not that the other guys aren't capable of leading them in scoring, but they have the ball in their hands the most. And Asar is so good at getting to the foul line.
And of course, all guys that transferred in. USC only 1 returning scholarship player. It's Terrence Williams II. Second time they've completely reshuffled the deck in 2 years for Coach Musselman, but a much different looking team compared to last season.
USC fans, let me hear you!
USC ball.
See where USC goes here. Sure must. Drew something up in the timeout.
Backdoor Easter, shovels it, Asar, he's fouled. Well, that worked, what they drew up.
But Easter probably could have finished that himself. Unselfish play to get it to Asar. Back to the foul line.
Okay, after watching that, that makes me think, why haven't they made that look that easy the whole night? I mean, that was a nice possession right there. What have been the biggest challenges for USC offensively tonight, Don?
I don't know if there's been challenges. They've had some open threes they haven't made. Turnovers haven't been a huge problem. But give Troy some credit. They've competed on this end defensively and made it more difficult.
One for 2 there for Ezra Asar. Down 7 with the ball is Troy. Team based in Alabama, Troy, Alabama. As Valdez made his way inside, is able to retain possession and down, connects.
Interesting play there. Valdez basically shot it to himself. You can do that if you're making an attempt at the basket, and then kicked it out to Dowd for the open 3.
Baker Mazzara knuckleball. It's a 4-point game, and Troy with the ball.
I've been saying all night, USC better get ready for 40 minutes, and it's looking like it's going to come all the way down.
Valdez, the fake, the drive, and the reach in by Ezra Asar. That is his 3rd. Timeout is called as Dowd down the mark. 15 points for Chad Baker Mazzara to go with 6 rebounds. Been a good day for the graduate student from the Dominican Republic. And it's been a special day for him. He was actually surprised before this game. His parents, Carmen and Derek, who were there pictured next to his brother, actually came from the Dominican Republic to visit him, completely surprised him, and are here today.
That time of year, fun stuff. And it's interesting that they can surprise him. You know, in this day and age, they surprise you coming all the way here from the Dominican Republic. But
I guess he doesn't have their phones tracked.
Yeah, I'm sure Chad was happy to see him, obviously.
Yeah.
Well, all of a sudden, it looked like USC was going to pull away in the second half, but we're back to a 1-possession game.
Mexican junior national teamer Victor Valdez. A clean trip at the line, and Troy is right there with USC.
This is impressive by Troy, because the easy thing would have been, we got a big win at San Diego State, one of the biggest wins in our history. Yeah, we didn't do great at USC, but who cares? Doesn't matter. But they have competed all night and put themselves in a position to maybe steal this one.
Showing that they're legit as that goes through the arms of Amarion Dickerson. I mean, the crazy thing too, Don, is they began this road trip losing at Loyola and CSUN. They have a chance to potentially beat San Diego State and USC.
Human nature is such an interesting part of sports to me, and the psychology of it. And they've been able to fight that tonight and come play. It means they have good culture and great coaching.
Valdez with a decent look there, but USC has the ball back and a 2-point advantage. Easter directing traffic to Kofi.
Double coming from the baseline side.
Reverse it to Rice. He's trying to tell Dickerson what to do. Curls in the other side, and Easter got tripped toward the very end of the shot clock there by Valdez.
Well, both teams got to realize in a one-possession game that every time you foul, you're putting the other team on the line. And so it may come down to who can guard and get a stop without putting the other team on the free throw line. We've had a ton of free throws in the second half.
One and one. The rest of the way now, it's going to be USC double bonus.
You also wonder, something we haven't brought up tonight, is USC is leaving for Maui tomorrow. So, you know, maybe looking ahead as well. USC, maybe not.
Start out with Boise State, which is actually a very good team to begin the year, and it's a loaded field as always there. So, yeah, it's worth at least the speculation. Valdez, good look, beautiful pass, but a good contest by Dickerson. In fact, they're arguing that they got a piece of it.
He did get a piece of that. Shot clock doesn't reset because it didn't hit the rim, so 11 seconds for Troy.
Another example, though, Don, of USC's athleticism.
Yeah, he came a long way to get a piece of that.
Walked Cooper Campbell, so limited time in the shot clock. This is Campbell again. Got half a step, but he's absolutely engulfed. Now, at the very end of the timer, no time remaining for Kiel.
Good urgency on that possession defensively from USC without fouling. Big stop there.
9 blocks for USC in this game.
I wouldn't be surprised. They're averaging just over 8 a game coming in. I wouldn't be surprised if they average close to 10 blocks a game with their length and athleticism. And Dines really hasn't played much tonight. When he plays more minutes, I'm sure that number will go up even more.
Baker Mazzara back rim, rebound Campbell. He got fouled there by Easter, who, by the way, has 4 of those blocks. Baker Mazzara also has 4. But a foul there is going to send Troy right to the free throw line from the backcourt. This is the upcoming schedule. The next 2 games are going to be based on who wins what in Maui, and then into the beginning of conference play.
Just a mistake by Easter there. I mean, poke your hand in there thinking it's meaningless, and you hit Campbell in the face, and now he's on the foul line for free throws.
One and one for Cooper Campbell, who is around 90% on the season from the line.
He's played well tonight. He's managed the defense pretty well. 4 turnovers, but he's been the primary ball handler. The ball's been in his hands a lot, and he's handled the athleticism and length of USC pretty well tonight.
Gets Troy back within 2. Rice twists inside, Easter with a look in the corner. Offensive rebound, Amarion Dickerson. Now Baker Mazzara. Probing, Easter same spot. That one goes for Jerry Easter the second.
It's like a mulligan off the first tee. He missed the first one. Second one goes in. Big three for Easter.
I've needed a few of those. I know what you're talking about. Valdez gives it to Dowd. Off of one leg, difficult look. And Kofi tracks it down.
If USC settles it here a little bit. Nope.
Rice going hard instead, and it pays off. Not really in their nature to usually settle. They want to play fast under Muss.
But just the way this game's gone, you're out, you're 2-possession lead now. Want to have good possessions executing coming down the home stretch.
Through the third personal foul on Cooper Campbell.
Feels like everybody's got to have 3 fouls in this game.
Yep, I think that's about right. Coaches at this point with 4:43 have put back in some of their players with 4. Sang and Bellamy each have 4 for Troy. Dickerson and Kofi, who are both in the game, have 4 for USC. Both teams double bonus rest of the way. That one pops out for Rice. It's a 6-point difference.
Mentioned it earlier, both teams in a double bonus now, so 2 shots if there's a foul.
Keel was walled off. Valdez trying to find a room. Oh, what a play by Victor Valdez. How did he find that daylight?
Just off rhythm, off timing stuff. Valdez all night has just kept whoever's been guarding him off balance. And a terrific finish by him to get the and one. Much needed bucket for Troy.
Just the second on Baker Mazzara, the foul. But it's a 1-score game on the old-fashioned 3 from Victor Valdez, who has 16 to lead Troy. And it's turned over by Rice. Campbell's picked up his dribble. They do break the timeline. In a few different moments where it's felt like Troy is on the verge of letting it slip, but they find themselves back in the game as Valdez couldn't get that one off clean.
Kofi got a piece of that one.
Baker Mazzara, there's contact, there's a 2.
Big time individual effort by Baker Mazzara. Mentioned coming into this game how much basketball, winning basketball he's played. Winning play there.
Dave Revson, Bruce Weber with you. 5-point lead for SC as we head down the stretch. What do the Trojans need to do to pull this one out, Bruce?
As a fan, people are worried about points. I'm worried about stops. Get stops. You're winning the game, you get stops, and then finish those stops with rebounding. They've been killed on the boards, and then make your free throws.
Defensive glass is important down the stretch here. We got a big show as soon as it's over. Take you through the whole night of hoops. Plus, we get you ready for the huge showdown between USC and Oregon, guys.
You mentioned getting killed on the boards. That has been a surprising thing. The extent to which USC has lost that battle. 41-28, the advantage for Troy out of the Sun Belt on the glass. But to their point as well, Don, USC has played well enough defensively to hold this 5-point lead.
18 offensive rebounds for Troy, which has given them 13 more FGAs than USC. And so you just wonder if USC had done a better job rebounding their own board, Would this game be double digits right now? I think it would be.
Instead, it's still in play right now. It'll be one free throw for Baker Mazzara, with his parents, who we just showed, surprising him in attendance. An old-fashioned three for Chad Baker Mazzara, 18 points, a game high.
Valdez bringing it up. Let's see what kind of action they get into, or does he take it himself?
Valdez eventually with the ball.
Offensive
yes,
foul.
it is.
Well, that's the thing with a player like Valdez. I was saying a couple minutes ago how he's a lot of off rhythm, off timing stuff, weird release points. But if you just stay in front of him and be long, it makes it difficult for him. He's looking for angles to get past you, step throughs, things like that. And good possession that time by Baker Mazzara just to stay in position. All Valdez could do was drop that shoulder, offensive foul.
Travel called. Going back to Troy. Does he remind you of Jaime Jaquez a little bit?
No. No, that's, AJ, that's too obvious.
Okay. Well, they like.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Super loud defense. Let's go. Here we go.
They liken him to Luka.
Jaquez is way more athletic than Valdez.
Okay.
Going to him again.
He falls, but he hits Sang. The three is off the back iron. Rebound Dowd. Valdez with an open look.
Missed everything.
Opportunity was there for Keel, but another offensive rebound.
Unbelievable.
I mean, Musselman is kind of losing it right now watching this.
But give Troy credit. They've competed and played hard and earned all those offensive rebounds.
Foul is called on USC number 1, Rodney Rice. First personal.
But that's what happens. They stopped him twice. You keep giving them possessions. Ultimately, they're probably going to score or get to the foul line, and they did there.
Line 0, Carrington Keel, shooting 2 free throws.
Barrington Keel hasn't scored all night in 25 minutes. Has a big pair of free throws. Just the first foul there on Rodney Rice.
Who can execute down the stretch? Both ways. Defensively, get a stop without fouling. Offensively, what kind of offense you running?
Rice drifting, difficult shot, and a quick shot on that possession, and it's going back to Troy.
I mean, time and score right now, 2:20. Look, Rodney Rice, arguably your best player. You want it in his hands, but why would you go early clock off the bounce three? Tough shot contested. Troy, see if Troy can take advantage here.
Screen set. Campbell uses it. Tip-in wouldn't go for Sang. Here comes Easter. Jerry Easter, the second strip by Valdez, and turned over.
And time and score. Don't need it. You're up 2 possessions.
Valdez off the fake. Allowed 2.
And that's what it leads to. You turn it over on this end. Troy gets it out, transition. Easy dunk by Valdez.
18 points for Valdez to match Baker Mazzara for the game high. It's a 2-point game. Kofi, athletic take.
That's what I'm saying. Get into some actions and get the defense rotating Kofi straight down the middle. Easy deuce instead of trying to do it yourself.
Valdez. Spinning, turning, left hand, crafty again.
What I'm saying, though, he gets those angles. He's so good at that. Second left-handed finish of this second half for Valdez. It's a contact, and then that step through on the angle. Kofi's got to square him up and stay in front. He allowed him to step through, and he finished it.
And Troy calls timeout with 1:06 to go.
They only have one timeout left. USC has 3.
Good thing they won that challenge earlier. From their perspective.
USC 69% was a team coming in from the foul line, and the way this looks with 1:06 to go, free throws are going to matter and probably going to decide this game.
If it turns into that foul shooting contest, yeah, well, in that case, Troy is the better free throw shooting team at 76.5%. Troy is going to open up this defensive possession with some pressure and back off pretty quickly.
Just token, make him use some of that shot clock.
Dickerson slips the screen. Kofi sets it for Rice. Trying to evade Sang. Sang looking pretty switchable there on this key possession.
Got time.
Re-cue it. Rice misses and Dowd flies in.
Even more, this is going to wrap up everything I've been saying in the second half. Can USC get a stop without fouling? Because if they do, Troy's probably going to tie the game.
That's deflected by Dickerson out of play.
You get a stop here, Troy will have to foul.
USC has led the entire second half. Troy last led with 3 minutes left in the first.
Here we go.
Got half of the shot clock at their disposal here. Troy with Dickerson distracting the inbounds. They get it to Valdez.
He's going to be looking for contact.
Going on Baker Mazzara. Lost it, got it back, got an opening, missed it. Rebound Baker Mazzara, and the foul is applied.
Here we go with the free throws. Baker Mazzara coming in 85%, 17 for 20 on the season. Valdez just missed it, but Baker Mazzara can get close to putting this away with 2 makes here.
Double bonus both ways. USC has a couple more timeouts left. USC has the arrow and the 2-point lead. Baker Mazzara misses, so it's going to be a 1-score game. He was 17 for 20 on the season coming in and was 6 of 6 before that miss at the line.
Well, the interesting thing becomes now, if he makes this, do you foul? Let the shot clock or the clock get under 10. Do you foul or do you play it out if you're USC?
Would you?
I always foul in this situation. I know people have their own opinions on it. I don't let them get a chance. You have to trust that your team can make free throws going back the other way.
Well, Cooper Campbell gets a look and he splashes the 3.
That's why.
Cooper Campbell ties it. USC has timeouts. They're not going to use them. Rice looking for the game winner. Gets a shot off, and that's short. And this one's going to overtime.
I'm telling you, I've been doing this a long time, and I've seen that happen. How about this Troy team coming off a double overtime? Here they go again to overtime again.
It was Troy that sustained a ridiculous half-court shot by San Diego State. at the end of regulation and still outlasted the Aztecs in double overtime. Now Troy gets that late tying shot. What can they do with it? Coming off an NCAA tournament appearance last year. Troy with the ball. That's a travel. Theo Sang, he just wasn't able to hold that second foot. Well, turned into the pivot foot before shooting.
They wanted that matchup. Sang, Rodney Rice giving up some inches to Sang, but traveled with it.
Sang was actually the guy, even though Dowd had 25 and 19, it really went to Sang a lot in the overtimes against San Diego State.
Troy back to this zone.
It's a matchup zone. They call it a 1-1-3. Baker Mazar, there's a foul.
Well, the other thing, and you hate to bring it up, is the game would have most likely been over it. Baker Mazara made both those free throws before that shot from Campbell.
Carrington Keel picks up his fourth. Nobody has fouled out yet. There are a few different guys on each team with 4. And Baker Mazara, the surprising thing about that free throw trip is, like I said, he had been 6 for 6 until that miss.
Free throws are a little different with the game on the line than they are in the first half.
Such an experienced player, Chad Baker Mazara, converts this time from the line. Troy with the huge rebounding edge has helped them force this game into overtime. They still haven't led since the first half. Valdez has it stripped. USC on the move. Baker Mazara, it's blocked by Dowd.
Wow, what a recovery by Dowd, and here we go the other way.
Valdez under the rim gets the roll.
Again, Baker Mazara obviously talented in the open court, but you got 3-on-1, 3-on-2, and it gets blocked.
Amarion Dickerson.
Big three.
Just his second three-point make of the season.
I was going to say, not known for his three-point shooting, but a big one there.
Took it confidently. Campbell hit the game-tying 3 at the end of regulation. Coaching staff told the team to settle this one down. Dickerson just hit one. Kofi looking to find something. He was hoping to unload this. Instead, we'll go to work off the dribble. And it bounces out. That wasn't what they were looking for.
Well, it got to late clock, so he had to go at that point. Good defense by Troy on that possession.
Yeah, they were denying very well off the ball. Valdez using the body, but it's blocked by Kofi. It's loose on the deck. Easter is there. Now USC wants to run. Rice. Troy calling for a double dribble.
But this late in the game, we're in overtime. I know they want to play fast, but in this situation, they feel like if you have numbers, then yeah. But if not, settle it, make them guard.
Instead, eventually, they were able to settle it down. Rice draws the foul. He is shaken up.
Foul is called on Troy, number 1, Thomas Dowd, third personal.
The length to Kofi that time squared him up, didn't allow him to turn the corner or step through. Big block by him.
Rodney Rice is 73% from the line, 5 for 7 in this game.
Can't say enough about this Troy team tonight. coming off of what happened Tuesday, double overtime. Here they are in overtime again and still competing and playing hard.
Their head coach, Scott Cross, was saying this morning at shoot-around that he hasn't left a single practice this year in a bad mood. That the team plays the way he wants them to play consistently.
I'm just trying to figure out how they didn't beat Loyola Marymount, Cal State
That's
Northridge.
what I'm saying. I don't know what switch they flipped for San Diego State and now USC. Dribble weave with their 5-out offense. Valdez, he found the space, and it's a one-score game. Victor Valdez has 22.
Good player.
With that bucket, now 24. Dickerson.
They left him.
And the long rebound to Cooper Campbell. Floats it up and in. High level of difficulty. They've made a few of those. Timeout, Troy.
What a second half Campbell's had. And another play in the overtime. Valdez, he's been doing that all night. They just give it to him at the top. He's ISO. And the body control of Campbell. And keeping his eyes on the target. Like a lot of guys go in there thinking they're going to get the foul and just throw it up there. If you get your eyes on your target, you can still finish the play even if you don't get the whistle.
Coming up, the Big Show delivers highlights, post-game interviews, and complete analysis. That's next on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. You can see on the left side of the screen, Scott Campbell, Cooper's and Kobe, backcourt teammates' dad. Kobe has struggled and not played much today. There's actually a funny story. They were telling me that on Cooper's official visit, Scott Cross bonded with his dad, and that sowed the seed for eventually hiring him as an assistant coach. He coached both the kids in high school.
They must have bonded at Waffle House.
Yes, yes. That is the other. That's the other thing for Troy. I think early in Scott Cross's tenure, they had a couple of recruits that didn't want to go to Waffle House. They didn't land, and then another recruit. They drove by a Waffle House. He mentioned it out of nowhere. I want to go to Waffle House if you have one of those in town. And then that player wound up becoming one of the hardest playing, most accomplished in recent program history. So now from now on, anytime they find recruits that like Waffle House, they know those are the type of guys that they want to recruit. I feel like I had to explain after you dropped that. In 2016, Jordan McLaughlin was the leading scorer as USC had to win a close one in that case as well.
I see you up there. All right, here we go. USC
Same lineup for USC. Kofi at the 5, Dickerson at the 4. Easter getting a big opportunity here late in this game as a freshman.
One minute remaining in overtime.
It's Rice from the foul line. It's Troy Ball.
Tried to get the same play they got at the end of regulation, that handoff to Campbell.
Campbell sets up Valdez. Oh, they were so close to another offensive rebound.
Rice ripped it out of there.
Yeah, very small difference game in shot clock, and Dowd is called for the foul. His fourth.
What a play by Rice, because you're right, they looked like they were going to get another opportunity, but Rice ripped it out of there, and then not a smart play by Dowd to foul Rice here.
Because you'd rather see them play that out or just foul somebody else? Because it was like a 3-second difference.
At line number 1, Rodney Rice shooting 2 free throws.
I don't know. I would have seen how the possession went first instead of fouling. I don't think, because I saw the reaction of Scott Cross and he threw his arms up, so I don't think the plan was to foul right there. Pretty good sales job there by Rice. Does USC foul this time? Too early now. You got to wait till it gets 10 or under.
They're going to take the 2 here, Seng. And the final timeout for Troy with 19.9.
It was too early. There was too much time left. I like the decision by Troy to go for the 2. Now you trap the baseline inbounds, try and get a steal. If not, put them on the foul line.
Where USC this year has been just average. Not a great free throw shooting team.
Well, you had the guy at the end of regulation you wanted on the line in Baker Mazar. He only made 1 of 2.
Kind of like everything else. I mean, Rice is 9 for 11 from the foul line. Baker Mazara 9 for 10 with that 1 key miss. They have 2 players they really trust. If Troy can force the ball into someone else's hands, the percentages might go their way, but we'll see.
I think you want it in Rice's hands as your primary ball handler. But I'm sure Troy knows that, and they're going to try and keep it out of his hands.
Game really, there's the impressive thing about Troy the last couple of games is that there's been nothing fluky. They if anything, should have won against San Diego State in regulation, and this is a game that's just been close the whole way.
It really has. There was that one stretch where USC pushed it to double figures, but it wasn't for long. But Troy keeps fighting back, coming back, making plays.
Against the USC team that we both really think has a lot of pieces and should compete this year in the Big Ten.
How do you get your guys open here?
Get it to Baker Mazara. Across to Rice.
Got to get it across.
And they foul Rodney Rice with 13.9. That is the 4th on Valdez. So it's almost the entire lineup for Troy has 4.
Different situation. Baker Mazara needed both to make it a 2-possession game. Rodney Rice only needs 1 to make it a 2-possession game.
I'm interested to see, though.
Oh, wait.
Well, no. Yeah, no.
They just changed the score. It was 3 before. They put the 2 up late. That's my fault.
I was going to say if he made both, would they foul again? Or would they this time choose to foul? But it's a moot point because he misses the first.
So now the interesting part is, does Troy go for the win down 2?
Yeah, assuming he makes this. He's 9 for 12. He's got that.
One stop if you're USC.
Ooh. Close to a reach-in foul. USC bench was yelling no 3, so Troy is going to take what they were given. Sang for the tie with 5 seconds to go.
Gotta go.
Easter, Baker Mazara gets it off at the buzzer. Double overtime in the Galen Center.
This is incredible for Troy. Back-to-back double overtime games.
Troy trailed by multiple possessions in both overtimes against San Diego State and won that game. And now just 2 days later, USC starts with the ball, but Rice throws it away. Valdez hit ahead, sang, and he's fouled.
But you could also say missed free throws at the end of regulation, end of the first overtime have cost USC, have hurt USC, haven't cost them yet. Sang still running hard.
Third personal foul on Baker Mazzara. Have to see if this foul trouble starts to come into play at some point. Troy has 5 different players with 4. USC still has Dickerson and Kofi playing with 4. The whirling move. Kofi lost the handle there on the way up. And a foul is called. And Kofi is done.
I just said it, execution, Kofi. It wasn't a late clock. Shot the difficult shot and then compounds it with a foul to put Sang back on the line.
Ezra Asar hasn't been in there in a while, I don't think. Comes back in for Kofi. This is Troy's first lead since the first half. And now it's a 2-point lead.
Well, what's the effect of that? More pressure on USC now that they've actually lost the lead.
Troy splitting a couple of free throw opportunities. So the lead is 2. Baker Mazzara ties the game. .23 points for Chad Baker Mazzara to lead USC. Valdez off the spin.
Lost it.
And Easter the rebound.
First time all night Valdez has lost it. Dickerson didn't get a piece of that.
Got to go back to that left hand next time. Dickerson. Asar.
Impressive play by Asar. He hasn't been in there in a long time, with a big bucket there.
Forced into action now because of the Kofi foul out. USC back in front, off the keel cut, it's turned over. And Easter thought better of running.
Didn't have numbers. Good decision by the freshman.
Baker Mazzara is taking a breath. He was doubled over with the ball. Now we'll get into action. The screen by Asar. Using his hit. Baker Mazzara, great move.
Well, Troy's been in this situation already, late in the game and in overtime. Where did they go this possession?
They've been coming back all night. It's like it almost refocuses them when they fall behind again. And Cooper Campbell to the free throw line.
You can't relax just because you've gotten up 4. So powerful going to the rim.
You've a few different times mentioned the battle of human nature. I think we've seen it kind of wave back and forth each way. That was the 3rd personal foul on Baker Mazzara. Game that's featured close to 70 free throw attempts between the two teams. It's a 2-point game. Baker Mazar, the floater.
Tough shot. Good. That's his game, though. He likes that, getting in the lane. Momentum going towards the rim. A little push shot. Had a couple of those tonight.
Been heating up in the second overtime. It's a 4-point lead again. Difficult shots for Dowd. He banked that one in.
Incredible.
Didn't look like it had a chance until it did. Went in off the glass. Baker Mazar working on a career-high 27-point game. Being guarded by Dowd. Trying to shake away from Dowd. Wow. Chad Baker Mazar owning the second overtime for USC.
Long two.
Eric Musselman disagrees. He wants them to look.
It's a long two. I saw it.
Yeah, I also thought it was a 2.
Left foot on the line.
Yeah, I didn't even think it was a question live. Wow, it's way in 2-point territory.
Baker Mazar has taken over here the last minute plus. Big bucket after big bucket, but still a 1-possession game.
On your feet, let's go, on your feet.
This is a 3 from Dowd off window from 26. And that wasn't even late clock. There was still 18 seconds on the shot clock.
See what Troy does here, down by 3 in the second overtime.
Obviously don't need a 3, but we'll take one.
Gonna take one from Dowd. That was a more conventional look, and that's off USC.
They just cannot consistently secure defensive rebound. I mean, that would have been a huge rebound for USC. Now Troy with another chance at getting a 3, and don't even really need a 3.
Campbell finds the slipping Sang, and he was able to slip that up and in. Easter nearly got there from behind, but it's a 1-point game.
USC keeps leaving the door open, and I mentioned before the end of regulation, the free throws were going to matter, and they have mattered big time in this one.
20 points for Sang after that bucket. USC working clock. Baker Mazar grinding in. Good cut. Dickerson fouled from behind.
Dickerson 6 for 7 coming into this one from the free throw line this year.
That's a big foul, though. Victor Valdez has fouled out. 24 points to lead Troy.
It's only a big foul if this goes to a third overtime. Because this is, depending upon what Dickerson does here, I think this next possession for Troy will decide if it's going to go to another overtime or not.
Of course, they won at San Diego State after Valdez had fouled out. So
he was terrific tonight, Valdez.
It's a big miss for Dickerson, to say the least. Troy down by 2. Dowd ties the game. Shot clock off. USC ball, 22.1.
Again, Troy's offensive execution late in regulation, late in the first overtime, late in this overtime. And they're making USC having to make the last possession and get a bucket. Way more time this time. It's been under 10 seconds both in regulation and first overtime. 22 seconds left in this one.
I mean, obviously you're using clock here if you're USC. I'm wondering, when do you want to see them start to go into something?
Well, it's tied. So if they had the lead, Troy would be fouling. If they were down, you go early enough to where if you miss, chance for an offensive rebound and then foul to send the other team to the free throw line and then still have time. But tied, you don't want to give Troy another crack at this. So it's basically win, or we're going to another overtime.
I'm just saying, when you start the set, is it 8 seconds? Is it, what?
Depends. If you get a quality look at, 5, 6 seconds, 7, 8 seconds. The point is, you don't want to give Troy enough time to go the length of the floor and score.
Especially with a player having fouled out, as much as you don't want to go to a third overtime. A token pressure from Troy.
They're going to look at where doubt is. They're not going to let Baker Mazzara just end this himself again.
Going to use that screen. Turns the corner. Baker Mazzara hangs in the air. No call. Tip in wouldn't go. I'll see your 2 overtimes and raise you a third.
I like the no call by the officials. I thought Baker Mazzara should have taken another dribble and got up stronger to the rim and put the pressure on the Troy defense to either let him score or foul him. Tough shot by Baker Mazzara. Watch this. Gets a screen from Asar. Turns the corner. See, take another dribble and go at him. He was already kind of off balance before there was even contact.
Very briefly, I know Troy took the lead at the start of that most recent overtime, but for all intents and purposes, the weirdest part about this game is, like, every time.
I don't understand why they were saying Marsh couldn't come in.
Well, Baker, doesn't matter anymore. Yeah. Baker Mazzara was able to make it back from, I'm going to assume, needed the bathroom break.
We're ready for the third.
Probably a lot of people on our crew are right there with Baker Mazzara at this point. How about a third overtime? Dickerson, he hit a 3, just his second of the season earlier in the overtimes, and he's taken a couple more and missed both.
Well, I think that's been the defensive game plan for Troy. We're not going to close out on Dickerson, make him beat us from behind the three-point line.
Campbell. It's Troy in front by 3 in the third overtime. That matches their largest lead.
About the guts of this Campbell kid.
Great save by Dowd. And now here comes Campbell again. Pull up, he's open, and he knocks it down. It's a 6-point lead for Troy.
Smallest guy on the floor. Maybe with the biggest heart. Don't forget, he made a huge 3 to send this thing to the first overtime. I mean, you can't go under on him. I don't know what Jerry Easter was thinking. Guy's proven he can knock it down, and then the one in transition, nobody picked him up. It's another one.
And USC's advantage, at least, that they haven't used very many timeouts. They got a whole stable of them and decided to use a full timeout there. But all of a sudden, Troy, this is uncharted territory. Game high 6-point lead in the third overtime.
I have a question.
Yep.
And this would take some real research. Has any team ever won a double overtime or more game twice in the same week?
Yeah.
I bet not.
Or back-to-back. I mean,
I'm saying even in the same week.
Yeah.
To go to double overtime in the same week is pretty unusual to begin with. And then to win them both, I bet you that's a no.
You might have to wait until tomorrow to hear back on that, although at the pace this game is going, maybe.
It's going to be tomorrow.
Yeah.
Actually, it is. It's almost tomorrow in Chicago.
And it's tomorrow for the Troy fans back in Alabama.
You know who's super happy about it going 3 overtimes?
USC ball.
Dave Rebson.
Sorry, Dave. USC needs a run. Dickerson missed it, but the tap in for Ezra Asar. Delay of game warning. Why not in the third overtime?
Well, now this is flipped. USC's coming from behind in overtime now.
See how they handle it. Campbell. Foul called. Bucket good for Cooper Campbell.
How about this kid? Man, he got some toughness to him.
You know what he's got? He's got a 30-piece with that bucket.
But it's not even the box score to me, just the fact that he's fearless, unafraid to take shots and make big shots.
30-point, 10 rebounds, 6 assist performance, but misses the free throw. Opens it up for Baker Mazzara. And off the miss, the rebound sang.
Well, some of USC's missed free throws have sent this thing into overtime. Let's see if Campbell's missed free throw helps USC either get over the hump or send it to another overtime.
Breaking him down off the dribble. This time the miss. Lead feed. Asar tracks it down as fouled from behind by Austin Cross. And USC is calling for a flagrant. That is the call on the floor from Larry Scarato. He put up that cross symbol, and they're going to have to go look at this at the very least.
And again, Troy cannot challenge this.
But a flagrant, it'll be reviewable.
The call on the floor is a flagrant foul. We're going to review it.
See if there's contact here. Question to me is he touched him, but did he push him? I guess it doesn't matter once a player's airborne.
That's exactly it. I know that they take extra consideration when it's an airborne player. It's just such a minimal amount of contact. That's kind of my question for you.
The call on the court was confirmed. It'll be 2 shots for SC and the ball underneath the basket with 26 seconds on the shot clock.
There you have your answer. If you mess around with an airborne player, I guess it's just a flagrant no matter how little the contact is.
Gigantic error by Cross there, because now it's 2 shots and the ball. When you had a 6-point lead, USC makes both free throws and a 3. They can make this a 1-point game.
Now, worth noting, they're, as you said, going to get the ball back anyway. Asar is just 55% from the line. He gets there a lot. They've been working a lot on the free throw shooting because of how often he gets there. He takes a lot of extra time with Will Conroy, their lead assistant, working on the free throw shot.
And these free throws are different with nobody on the foul line either. They're more difficult because it's different than what you're used to. See how he reacts to this.
4 for 6 today. The Utah transfer with 20 for USC after, remember, he sat out for a long period of time, only came in after Kofi fouled out.
It's the first time I think USC's made both free throws in a while. Still plenty of time, 4-point game.
Baker Mazzara off the inbounds with a miss, and Campbell is there for the board.
Guess who with the rebound?
So USC can't totally capitalize on the flagrant. Got the free throws, but couldn't score after. Campbell. Offensive rebound, Dowd, and I think that's where the foul comes in.
Foul is called on USC number 2, Ezra Asar.
It's the fourth personal on Ezra Asar. Let's take a look at Cooper Campbell, part of his 30-point game.
Just fearless coming down the home stretch. Obviously a really good shooter, but these ones are different when you're closing out games, trying to tie games. And he has gone at this USC defense and had an unbelievable game.
It's a big miss for Sang. Career highs across the board for Campbell. Sang normally 84%. Today just 3 for 6. Or, excuse me, Dowd is at the line, and he also a very good free throw shooter typically, makes the second one.
Usually when you're up, they're easier than when you're down, but it seems like the team that's been down is making them, and the team that's up has been missing them.
Asar, foul called, and a finish.
I don't think either team's going to be practicing tomorrow.
And Theo Sang has fouled out, becomes the second starter to foul out for Troy. This is like a replay of their San Diego State win when they had multiple important players foul out and still won. Jarrell Bellamy has not been seen since early.
Asar stepping up here in this third overtime.
Can't say enough about that. I mean, again, after how long he was on the bench and then got put in because another player fouled out, but he misses that free throw. It is a one-score game. Still halfway left in this overtime. Campbell. Down. He is fouled and completes the play.
Set up by who? Campbell again, because he's gotten the ball up on the window a couple times, getting by the initial defender. That time gets to 2 feet, and Dowd with the cut right down the middle, and one.
Basket is good by number 1, Thomas Dowd.
And that's going to do it for Dickerson.
On USC number 3, Marion Dickerson, 5th personal.
5th personal foul. We'll see what USC does. They're going to go with Jaden Brownell, who has played 4 minutes so far tonight.
And still 2:23 to go.
Well, I guess at this point, USC needs some offense, and Brownell can give him that.
They can.
And make up a 6-point deficit. He's going to shoot on his first touch. That's aggressive. But even with the miss, it's a loose ball foul on Troy.
Got to give it to him with the confidence, but
man,
sometimes, or not sometimes, you like to get up and down a couple times before you let one fly.
5th personal on Carrington Keel. He is the 3rd player done for Troy. Yeah, that's a bold shot in the 3rd overtime coming in on ice.
And you didn't need a 3 yet. There's still 2:14 to go. You're down 6. You'll take an open three, but didn't have to have one.
It worked out anyway because Baker Mazzara, a reliable free throw shooter, now 10 for 11. And now ties the most free throws he's ever made in a game. He has a new career high in this one in points with 31. We've seen one player each way go for 30. Campbell, Dowd for three, back rim, and Troy had the numbers advantage on that long rebound.
Again, another offensive rebound for Troy.
25-7 on the O glass. Campbell put his head down. Foul called on Brownell, and Eric Musselman can't believe it.
Campbell just making something out of nothing there. Got to the body of the defender and put it on the official, and he gave him the whistle. Really nothing there. I thought he was going to kick it out to the corner to cross. Forced his way through that, got himself 2 free throws.
Don, what if I told you at halftime when it was 29-29? We'd be looking up at the scoreboard at some point and see 102-97.
I would have forgotten because that was 3 hours ago.
I'll accept that response. 6-point lead for Troy. But like we've said a million times, it's not like this game is over. There's so much time left the way things have unfolded here tonight, and it's going to be Rice to the line for 2.
Well, not a good foul by Troy there.
Yeah, that lengthened the game. That was the...
Yeah, the last thing you want if you're Troy right now is to stop the clock.
And that was also the 4th on Campbell. I get it, they have a cushion, but if he goes, that could be tough for Troy. USC very capable of pressure. He just slipped. Dowd just slipped. Baker Mazzara, it's gone!
Wow, what a turn of events. Troy trying to get it in too quickly, get it across, make a mistake. USC makes him pay. 1-point game.
Look at this. Should get the Trojan War moniker. What a game this has become. Troy has a challenge left, and they might be challenging that. It looked like Brownell hit it out. And they're going to challenge.
It looked like Scott Cross didn't want to challenge it.
Although actually at this stage, that's my fault, Don. At this stage, it's just an official's review in the last 2 minutes of regulation and overtime. Troy can ask respectfully to go look at it, which they did. My fault again.
Was challenged.
That used to be the rule.
That used to be the rule.
They changed it this year. Hey, give me one in the 3rd overtime.
Play right? Being challenged by Troy State.
It's the other stuff that's reviewable in the last 2 minutes in overtime, but the out of bounds, because they don't want to go to the monitor a million times, is always going to be a challenge, which because Troy won that challenge way back in the first half, they get another one. They get to look at this one.
I think a good challenge. I think Brownell hit that out.
Yeah, I think it was pretty obvious, and just the officials didn't happen to have the angle live. The other thing is going to be the shot clock here. Because it's been reset to 30. They're going to have to figure out when the shot clock, what amount of time should be put back on the shot clock.
Obviously a big call here.
Assuming that Troy, that we were right, that it did go off USC. There's Brownell. I think was the last to touch it, right?
That's what it looks like to me.
The call on the court was reversed. It is Troy State ball. There will be 8 seconds on the shot clock. And the time is correct.
I don't know who Troy State is.
Troy State has no more challenges.
Vern Harris will forgive him. They make the right call at least.
There's that play. Just Easter got in front of him, and Dow just lost his feet. Baker Mazzara, big time three.
So, and again, they did have to figure out the shot clock. It's 8 seconds on the shot clock for Troy to work with. Because of that turnover and that big swing, all of a sudden the crowd is re-energized in the third overtime.
All teams have baseline out of bounds quick hitters.
Up top for Bellamy. Off the loose ball, Cooper Campbell to Bellamy for three. Oh, you gotta be kidding me! His first three of the season. Jarrell Bellamy. Rice has the answer for USC. That's a big basket. They score pretty quickly and can play straight up defense if they choose.
2-point game.
Giving Dowd problems.
Got to get it across.
Still have to get it across. Still have to get it. That was just touched in time in the front court.
So 14-second differential here. So USC will still have time even if Troy takes us all the way down.
I think Campbell cut into the, or add to the lead here. Let's see, Bellamy, he's blocked up top. Here comes USC. Down two, Baker Mazzara missed it. It's deflected into the arms of Cross. Lead to Bellamy, stolen by Rice. There's still time left. It's Marsh for the win. Oh,